What camera gear do I use? This is a common question that I get, and it's actually more simple than you might be expecting. Starting off with camera bodies. So my main camera body is this. So it's the Nikon Z6 III. I picked up this camera because of its hybrid photo video capabilities. I do a lot of video work, but I still use this primarily as a photo camera. It's honestly fantastic. Like, I'm running a small rig cage around the body, just so when I run the video setup, 24 megapixels, it's just the perfect everyday camera. I genuinely cannot fault this camera body. My second body, which is an older first generation Nikon Z7, I picked this up when it very first got released. So this is a 45 megapixel body, and it's been fantastic. It was my workhorse for years and years. I keep it in my bag as a backup. I sometimes use it when the weather is bad, because I know it's got fantastic weather sealing. So it's sort of like my run and gun camera when I'm in a bad situation. But I can't fault it. However, I chose to not get the Z7 II because of the megapixel situation, hence why I went the Z6 III. So my everyday lens is the 24 to 120 Nikon Z series, or it's the S, 24 to 120 f4S, but it's specific to the Z bodies. Majority of my work I shoot with this. And then I've got the 14 to 30 mil wide angle lens. I use this primarily for real estate. So we do a lot of real estate photography and video in my business, not just automotive. I do bring this out sometimes for automotive because it's quite amazing for interior shots because it's just so wide. However, I find the versatility of it is not really there for automotive photography as a whole. Now, you might be wondering, how does someone like me not have 24 to 70 2.8 in my bag? Well, I actually do. I've got the first generation 24 to 70 2.8 S for the Z body. I've had this lens since it first came out in 2019, and it has been through hell and back. It's actually broken. So I took this out on a Lamborghini Urus off-road drive day. So we were driving Lamborghini Uruses on the dirt, fully off-road. It was extremely dusty. And let me show you, the biggest fault with this lens is the front element of the lens. It pushes in and out. And even though it is weather sealed, when you're dealing with an exceptional amount of dust, like fine dust, and you're constantly zooming in and out, taking photos, dust went in here and then actually went into the glass inside the lens and broke, something to do with the glass and completely ruined the lens. I paid a lot of money to try to get this fixed, and then it still is no good. And I just can't risk doing shoots and then having my focusing completely out, because that was the issue. It wasn't focusing properly. Like, my camera would lock on focus, but it actually would not be in focus even though it thought it was. So like, that is an instant no-go for professional level lens. The 24 to 70 2.8 series 2 just came out recently. I will most likely pick one of those up to replace this in my camera bag and get back into the 24 to 70 2.8 gang. Now, aside from my primary camera gear, I do have a whole assortment of lighting gear. So this is the Nikon SB700 speedlight. So I've got two of these, and this is what I primarily use to light all of my automotive photos. And then I've got a flash trigger attached to the bottom of it. This is just a random brand. I've used so many different brands of these flash triggers, and I really don't spend a crazy amount of money on them because all they need to do is send one radio wave between the receiver and the trigger, which goes on top of my camera, and that's all I need it to do. I don't need it to change any settings. I don't need to do TTL, none of it. It's just a very simple process. So I keep them cheap, and I buy whatever the most popular common ones are at the time, and these are just, you know, Chinese, Amazon, whatever specials. So if you're getting into flash photography, spend the money on the flash. I always go the brand name, just so that when I do attach my flash directly onto my camera, it's fully compatible, but just don't overspend on the flash triggers. Now for light painting, I've got a whole bunch of different LED light bars. So I've probably got 3 or 4 of these. I like to use this one here in video demonstrations because it's the simplest and it's the easiest to understand. However, I've got a whole series of more robust work lights. So think about something that you would work on your car with in like a mechanic workshop or in your garage at home. You know, they're like an LED strip light covered in rubber padding. You can drop them, you can throw them, they're really robust. So I use them a lot for my light painting. And then aside from this, obviously I've just got a lot of accessories in my bag. I've got a big setup of continuous lighting, which I actually use to film my videos with, but then I also use these same lights on set, and I'll go through my continuous lighting setup in a different video. So thanks for watching, like and subscribe, and leave a comment.